Okay, so a couple of exercises to help your pelvic floor. You're going to have wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And I want you to focus on pushing away from the floor so you're not hunched or slouched or tucked too much into your tailbone at the moment. So you're pushing away from the floor. You're just going to tuck your tailbone under. Now I want you to avoid going into that big cat stretch. You don't need to go that far in the upper back. So if you think of your tailbone, which is at the back, you're just going to take a breath out as you tuck your tailbone and then inhale to release. So you're breathing out and inhale, release. Exhale, tucking under and inhale, release. And then one more time. So you can do as many of these as you like. And now I'm going to open my knees about as wide as my mat and I'm bringing my feet together. Now I'm going to breathe in as I take my hips back towards my heels and breathe out as you come back up. Breathe in, that's your pelvic floor lengthening, and breathe out, pelvic floor shortens. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out. So my knees are wide as my mat, and my toes are touching. Breathe in to go back and up, and then one more time. Breathe in to go back and to come on up. Now bring your knees back in so they're right under your hip bones. Separate your feet. Wrists are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. I'm going to extend one arm. I'm going to extend the opposite leg with my foot flexed. And then I'm going to lift the arm and leg up and then bring it back down and reach again. Now try and do this keeping your pelvis level. So when you extend the knee and the leg goes back, the leg doesn't have to go very high. And then we'll switch to the other side. Opposite arm, leg, extend first, keep them down, and then lift and slide in and lift. And while you're doing this, you're keeping your pelvis still. So if you had a glass of water, balancing on the back of your hips, you would be able to keep it still. So what usually happens here is that people will do this and it really tightens up your mid back, and you don't want that. So pull your abs in. This is level as you reach, and then bring it back in. All right, from there, another option that you can do, you're going to lay on your back. I'll sort of show you this view, it's a little bit easier. You're going to draw one leg to tabletop and you're going to flex your foot. So the sole of my foot is facing towards the wall. And now from here, you're just going to let the knee open away and back in. So your knee opens and your heel stays in the same place. So the knee opens and in and open. And then of course you're going to do the same on the other side. Foot is flexed, knee open and in, tailbone is nice and heavy, and open. Excellent. And we'll just do one more here. So you want to do about 6 on each side. Then you're going to bring your hands together so your arms are like an A-frame over your chest, and avoid taking your hands too close. So you really shouldn't see your hands right in front of your face. You want to have your hands a little bit lower. Now the knees and the hips stay quiet as you move from side to side through the shoulders, and this helps to unlock your upper back. And we're doing this because we want to take some nice deep breaths, and it's a hard thing to do if your upper back is tight. So just going to move from side to side, moving through the shoulders. And you'll notice my knees are staying still because my pelvis is staying still. So I'm not rocking my pelvis from side to side, I'm just going through the shoulders. And then from here, you're going to separate the hands as wide as the shoulders, turn the palms to face the wall, bend the elbows out to the side, and then you're going to internally rotate and externally rotate. So you're working through your rotator cuff, turning down. And again, just watch the shoulders here. And if this causes any pain or increases any pain in your body, I want you to stop. Turning in, turning out, turning in, and turning out. So that's very good for your rotator cuff. And then you're going to bring your feet out a little bit wider, and you're just going to sway the knees from side to side. I'll do this one from a side view as well so you can see. So you're just letting the knees go from side to side. Your shoulders are staying down. My feet are about mat width distance apart. And I'm going to put my hands on my pelvis. Now I want my pelvis to stay still, and I'm just going to move my knees. So I'm just moving my leg bones into my pelvis without moving my pelvis. So you'll notice this is going to be smaller. So this is when you're adding that pelvic rotation side to side. So you've got a bigger range here, and then hands on your pelvis to keep it level, and you just move from side to side. So I'll do that from a side view so you've got that visual as well. My feet are as wide as the mat. I'll just take my hands behind my head to get them out of the way. This is when you're moving your hips, your pelvis. So you'll notice as my knees go to the wall, this side lifts off, and then the other side lifts off. And then you're going to keep the pelvis on the mat and just let the knees go from side to side. And all these exercises are helping your pelvic floor. You want it to be a flexible support. It's meant to move. All right, and then after you've done all those exercises, you're going to come in, and then we're going to focus on your breathing. So you're going to put one flat hand on your belly and one flat hand on your chest. You're going to breathe in and breathe out, and I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose or out through your mouth. And just notice if or how much your hand raises up. Mine doesn't come up too much because I know that I don't want to do that. And now you're going to place your hands on your ribs, on your lower ribs. So if you're wearing a bra, you're going to make this shape with your hand, and you're going to put your thumbs to the back and your fingers to the front and really give a good grip on your rib cage. And when you breathe in, I want you to try and feel the ribs expand out to the sides. So you're going out to the left side and the right side, and then you're just letting the rib cage glide together. So you really want the rib cage to expand sideways rather than pushing up to the ceiling. So this is a great exercise to focus on breathing and using your diaphragm. Expanding, and then exhale, just let the ribs come together on the exhale. So just give yourself a little check. Are you breathing into the belly and into the chest? You want to let the upper chest move a little bit. Think of the bottom of your ribs as the bottom of a balloon, and you want to breathe from the bottom up rather than breathing into your hands. So when you inhale, when you breathe in, you want to feel your ribs move. That's where your diaphragm is, your biggest breathing muscle. And the better your diaphragm moves, the better your pelvic floor reacts to a moving diaphragm. So the better your breath, the more flexible support your pelvic floor